That's 724-569-8100 or visit montymed.com to schedule your appointment today. Now accepting new patients. At Montgomery Medical, they have a team of dedicated medical providers for you to meet, led by Dr. Marcy Gold.
This is The Great Outdoors with Jason White, exploring the great outdoors in Pennsylvania and beyond. Brought to you by the Mariana Outdoorsmen Association and by Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. Now, The Great Outdoors with Jason White.
Hello, friends. I'm Jason White, here with my co-host and right-hand man, Whip Shetler. Good morning, Whip. How you doing today?
Well, thank you, Jason. Again, I feel very comfortable working with you, and I just want to let the folks know that we're engaged in a lot of activity, and I think that you're going to allow the listeners to be educated and be aware of the activity, what the MOA, the dog tag program, is all about.
Absolutely. We're gonna dive right into it, folks. Anybody that'd like to join the Mariana Outdoorsman Association, go to marianaoutdoors.com. Again, marianaoutdoors.com. You can also follow us on Facebook. Also, we got other platforms, Instagram, Twitter. Check us out. Really love to see you. And then we have MOA Outdoor Channel at YouTube. We just added that recently. Been adding a lot of really insightful and educational videos, trying to teach people about the things we're doing. We're going to be expanding that also in the dog tag program with getting Whip to talk about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and all the benefits therein for our veterans and first responders. So I really thank him for all of his efforts. Had some amazing meetings and a lot of things. We're not going to unveil them too much yet, but got some stuff on the horizon that we're going to be bringing out, partnering with some different veterans organizations. That being said, looking ahead, what do we got going on? Well, right now we are doing a lot of farming work, spreading a lot of manure, getting the farm updated. We have this Saturday, we're actually going to be finishing the total replacement of a barn floor that we're converting for a venue for meetings and for people that want to have events, picnics, parties, etc. So that's really cool. I'm really excited about that because we do a youth work program in the summer, and some of the kids from last summer actually stayed on and worked with us part-time, and they've been helping with this floor replacement. So they've really learned a lot. You're not gonna learn that in school. Certainly, this has been a hand-on educational opportunity for them, which has been really exciting, and it's definitely been a huge team effort. I would like to give a special thanks to a couple people. Bob Thomas, he's actually the father of our president, Matt Thomas. Bob has been a godsend with this project. He's done so much to bring people together and kind of spearhead it. And also the team. And the team is a bunch of volunteers from our organization, board members, just regular members, kids, etc., that have been there to help. And I can't really thank everybody enough.
I want to step in, Jason, and make comment. For the spirit of the volunteerism, I mean, they were engaged, and what a beautiful job that they've done so far in that changeover for the floor. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it looked like that they were professionals. And mind you, folks, these are guys that just are taking their time and volunteering to improve that barn structure. And I want to add too that when Jason mentioned about the youth program, that youth program is supported by I call it earn while you learn.
Yep.
And that basically is what, 32 to 40 hours per week?
30, in the summer program that we have, it's 32 hours a week, so it's really exciting. We have a couple spots open, actually, so if there's anybody with some youth out there that's interested in a summer work program, we do have 2 positions available. Please reach out to us. You can message us on our Facebook page. You can also give us a call at 724-579-0924. Again, that's 724-579-0924. Really excited about that.
Yeah. Now, what's the age limit?
I don't have it in front of me with our total breakdown. I want to say it is off the top of my head. I want to say it's 16 to 24 is the current age bracket. It might even be 14.
I thought it was 14.
It might be 14.
Yeah,
but I apologize. I don't have the whole thing in front of me.
I didn't mean to blindside you.
No, that's all right.
But I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. We have that project that we're wrapping up Saturday at 9:00. We're giving a tour of our facility, so if anybody would like to come and check that out, you're more than welcome. We're happy to have you. Let's see here. The following Saturday, the 25th, that'll be our annual spring cleanup day. We will be walking along the local roadways, along the creek bed areas, any trash, debris, etc. We're going to get that picked up, put it in some bags. PennDOT will come and, take it away. So if anybody would like to participate, that is Saturday the 25th at 9 a.m. We'll be meeting at Wild Acres Farm. The address is 1997 Morey Road, Clarksville, Pennsylvania, 15322. Looking ahead, Thursday, March 30th, will be our April trout stocking. Normally, I try to do it a day or two before trout season, which this is 2 days before trout season. So March the 30th, 3 p.m., we'll be stocking trout. Same location, meeting at Wild Acres Farm. And we'll be stocking the areas that we stock. It's approximately 2 miles, private fishery. And then Saturday, April 1st, is opening day of trout season, which I am really, really, really excited about. Really looking forward to it. And, I hope everybody, whether you come to the Mariana Outdoorsman Association or for that, I don't care where you go. If you go on some local streams in the mountains, or if you stop somewhere here in Uniontown area, up on, the Summit area, up around Ohio Powell, Confluence, I really hope you go. I hope you go out and enjoy opening day of trout season. It really is. It's a blessing, and it's almost, in my opinion, it's so much like opening day of deer season to me. It's become like a holiday to me. It's so nice to see people on the water having a good time, grilling out for lunch. I love seeing those grills going at lunchtime. But yeah, we hope to see you. Stop at the MOA, have a fun time. We have day passes available, so even if you don't want to be a member and you just want to enjoy the experience for just a day or a weekend, please reach out to us.
Well, let me inject this, Jason. You're starting to get a reputation. I've witnessed, folks, some of these stockings, and at the very beginning, I think a comment was made, if we're going to stock, don't be putting no fingerlings in. And I think they took it to heart, because the monster trout that have been stocked in that 10-mile stream is phenomenal. And that's why I say I think you're getting a reputation, and you gotta witness it. And like Jason said, we're there for a tour. You're there to witness any kind of a stalking, and again, even for a day pass, I think it's worth the experience.
Absolutely. And anybody that wants to come and check it out, you're more than welcome. And we're winding down now on this barn project, and we have some other things lined up with field plantings, and I want to talk about one of our big projects that we have going on. Really, it's been years that we've been working on permitting. And when I say that, I sincerely mean it, folks. I started on the Daniels Run project approximately 2017, and we just got a final approval yesterday for the last permit.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And for the final piece of habitat improvement along Daniels Run. For those that haven't been there, if you go to either our Facebook page, or if you go to our website and also our YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel we have a good breakdown. There's a five video segment that breaks down the habitat improvement first, and then it goes into details about other things that that we're involved with. But basically, Daniels Run, for those that haven't been there or unaware, Daniels Run's a cold water fishery located in Washington County. Now, the state does not acknowledge that it's cold water. It's not been tested by the state agency, so basically it's not even on their radar. They just acknowledge it as a tributary. It was kind of self-assessment on my end, testing the water temperature here years ago and seeing how cold it was. Basically, it's a stream that's all spring-fed groundwater, stays cold all summer long. Really doesn't get above 65. That's about where it's at. And trout will survive in it year-round. The issue that we had was that it was too low in certain spots and it lacked oxygen. Where it was too low, predators in the summer, it was easy pickings. So we have a lot of those blue heron, we have bald eagles, we have raccoons, we have fisher. If anybody hasn't seen those, they also call it the martin. And these different predators, can take the fish out of the water very easily. In addition to that, the oxygen is a critical piece of not only fish habitat, but trout need good quality oxygen in the water. So for us, we started exploring the idea of, okay, we want to improve the habitat on a stream. Well, first thing we had to do is build an access road to even be able to get, these big 24 tons of stone delivered in the past year or two to actually place them in the stream to develop this habitat. And in saying that, that was when the idea kind of spawned of, well, why don't we build campsites along our tram road? So then we expanded to the idea of, okay, well, let's build, campsites. So it took us about 4 years of grubbing trees by hand, volunteers, slowly developing this roadway, campsites, parking lot, turnaround for a camper. And last year, the last 2 years is how we started the actual habitat development. 2 years ago, in 2021, we were involved. You were involved with me. We installed a handicap fishing pier for people with disabilities, and we also installed two different small structures in that particular vicinity.
Yeah, and I just wanted to give witness to the fact that I had taken some people down in the heat of the day, and when we went to the stream, we had witnessed and seen a school of trout. Mm-hmm. And that adds to what you were saying about the coldness of the water, and you don't see that where the activity of the fish would be, in 90-degree weather.
Absolutely. And I would like to mention, we started there because the nearest trout stock waterway with a handicap fishing pier is actually at the Youghiogheny River outflow at the dam. This is a lot friendlier. It's a lot more accessible. So for us, trying to work with people with disabilities and those in need, we started, I said, in 2021. And I know you were helped spearhead that, Whip.
Yeah, well, thank you. And I surely wanted to do that because I'm sensitive to the people with disabilities, having been around that and being, hearing impaired myself. But these wheelchair-bound peoples really enjoyed the day because not only were they accessible to do the fishing, but they did happen to catch some beautiful trout.
Absolutely.
And that's a joy in itself, just to see the smile on a young child to be a part of that. Same thing on the other side of the fence, the aged veteran that was there and continually to come. And that's just, it's more than just monetary value.
Well, it's definitely a passion of love. There's no doubt about it. And I think you and I both share the willingness and want to help other people.
Well, you had mentioned, too, about the camping. And I also was engaged in having a conversation with veterans that came out of the state of Virginia. Mm-hmm. And we had invited them over to, the lodge and everything like that. But they particularly liked that environment that they set their tents up, they built the fires, and stayed the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And they had said that they just enjoyed that whole atmosphere, for the stream, for the, the forest or the woods that were there, and just the whole the old scenic route.
Well, so in 2021 we did the handicap fishing pier and we installed 3, we'll call it fish habitat structures. Last year, 2022, we installed 11 structures, and you saw it. It was 20 tractor trailer loads of boulders. And if you haven't seen 20 tractor trailer loads of boulders before, that's a lot of rock. It's a lot of rock. It was a lot of shuttling of the stone from the parking lot areas and different spots so we could actually get to where they needed to be dumped and placed in their position as permitted into the stream bed. That being said, the 11 structures were not totally finished. So this year, we got to go back and do whatever touch-up work is necessary and get those finished. That's number one. Number two, we have 18 additional structures that are now permitted. This permit came into effect yesterday. Like I said, I'm so happy, so appreciative, so thankful for everybody involved in this process because now I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to this stream. We're going to do this work in September. I'm thrilled about it. I am so thrilled about it because now we're going to have a full mile of cold water, sustainable trout fishery. And I'm even excited to see potentially if they'll spawn. It is a possibility. We might have that happen. It is a potential with this improved habitat, with the cold water. It is a strong possibility. We do have areas where there's good riffle sections where trout could lay eggs. So I'm really, really excited. And the campsites, then we will divert our attention after that.
I think what needs to be resonated here, Jason, and I know that you're thrilled with it because you went through the gauntlet of, filling out the papers and getting all the proper information down on these applications, and the time that had been more or less delayed or, takes the process of time for evaluation or, the people to come out and everything as such. But I applaud you for staying dedicated to it, to where you had a vision and seeing the proper, the proper benefits that would occur with these dams, and like you were saying, the oxygen and and possibly what you just mentioned now about the spawning end of it.
Well, it's really an exciting experience.
That's an accomplishment.
Well, it's a team effort.
Yeah.
It's definitely I don't want to say this to people. You've told me before about vision and having eyesight but lacking vision.
Yeah.
This was truly desolate ground in an area that people probably wouldn't have seen an opportunity or potential. And we saw it, and we slowly pecked away at it. And now, like I said, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel from the habitat perspective. And to me, that was a critical piece because now, like I said, now we will expand our current fishery. It creates more pools of water for the fish to hold. It's just, on all accounts, Whip, it's a plus for us.
It is. But, again, like I said last time, or I'll continue to say it, you built a team so strong you don't know who the leaders are. And that in itself speaks volumes because, again, you allow me to leverage of, working with the veterans and promoting programs and all the rest of the teams with the carpentry, with the youth program, with the agriculture program. I mean, there's a whole display of different programs that are not just talked about, but they're labeled and they're carried on.
Well, I think the big thing to acknowledge is that leadership isn't, and this is for anybody out there or any kids that are listening, when you want to be a good leader, God gave you 2 eyes, 2 ears, and a mouth. And you got to be willing to listen to people. You got to be willing to hear people. You got to be willing to see. And you need to take in good advice from folks to make good decisions. But also, you got to put good people around you, people that share your values, people that care about what you care about. And when those people need your help, you got to be there to lift them up and to empower them. And obviously, I would hope that those around you would do the same for you. So it's definitely as much team as it is family. It's a culture that I think we've built, and you know,
as well as a community.
It is, and I'm excited because you know, I look forward to fostering those relationships and you know, developing good working relationships with other agencies, different groups and entities, not only in Washington County, Greene County, Fayette County. I know that the elected officials have been very open arms and very supportive, and you know, they've talked to us, and I think they've all seen the light into the benefits of outdoor recreation and the capacities of whether that's tourism, whether that's helping, you know, people with depression or getting over medical issues, whether that's people battling some form of substance abuse, getting your attention on positive things as opposed to the negative, but also, you know, from a travel and tourism perspective, economically, you know, travel and tourism is in the top 2 money makers in the state. The fact that we are seeing people from other states, you know, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, New York,
North Carolina,
Georgia, and I'm just naming a few that pop out at me, but New Jersey, you know, some tremendous people that have come to experience what we have to offer, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'm also really thankful for the friendships that I've built with some of these people. There's a group of guys from New Jersey, and it's amazing how, although people might not live right next to you, they could be states away, how you can just automatically click with people. And, you know, this will be their 3rd year in a row coming back, and they're coming back for deer season this year, and I'm really excited to see them.
See, the way I see it, Jason, is that trust is paramount, and I think that they see the genuine effort to where, you know, you can have conversations, whether they be open or confidential. I've had that opportunity, you know, talking to our reverends as well as even some of the first responders, and to me, it's just like the military. That every operation, they have to have boots on the ground. And our boots on the ground with the Mariana Outdoor Association is giving them that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
and we have a lot of other great things going on. You know, project-wise, we're actually cleaning out our pond. We have a pond on the farm here, and it's filled in with a lot of sedimentation. We're going to be cleaning that out. We stocked it with fish last year, but just because of the poor access and, you know, those types of things, we're going to be cleaning that out here very soon. So I'm excited about that. That sounds like a small thing, but it's a huge machine that's coming to be able to achieve such a project. So I'm excited about that. Geez, what else do we got going on?
Well,
we got
potentially we have we've been engaged in having conversation with the Veterans Affairs. We're looking to do an event with them. The tentative date on that would be July 29th. We're engaged in, you know, just more or less a meet and greet and like a picnic type of arena, not to where, you know, you have to be formal or having, you know, pamphlets being passed out or nothing. It's just an engagement of a friendly environment that they more or less, as well as they recognize the MOA and the dog tag program is being developed, and talking to some of the directors and people down in Baltimore, Maryland, we're ahead of the curve as far as their statements go, and we'll be engaged in conversation with them to broaden out what they're doing in the research and development area, that we're actually putting it to practice.
If anybody, like I said before, wants to come take a tour, please come check us out. Also, I want to extend this to anybody out there. If you have a club and you're within a reasonable driving distance, I'm more than happy to talk to you, to give you some insight, to talk about how I could help give you good advice on how you can get your club to grow. I just think that we need to all work together. We need to share.
Absolutely.
We need to share ideas. What's working? What isn't working? I want to talk about one of the things that isn't working. I think we've had a really positive conversation, but I think we need to direct our efforts. We need to have something that's going to hurt us, and we need to come together to stop it. And that is the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission is proposing a policy to require clubs to get permits to be able to stock fish in waterways in Pennsylvania. And considering the fact that fish hatcheries already are regulated, they are fish farms, by the way. I'm on the Wildlife and Fishery Committee for the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau, very proud of that. If anybody wants to join the Farm Bureau, I certainly recommend it. I think you should, because every one of us, at some capacity, you are a farmer, because all of you eat, right? You eat things that come from a farm. So you are invested into the Farm Bureau. So you need to have a voice. Why this is important, this conversation is systemically a seed that can grow into something very, very bad. We are already permitted. You're not allowed to go buy an alligator whip and dump it into the river, right?
That's correct.
You can't go buy a shark and dump it in the river. It's illegal. So the fish that these fish farmers are busting their butts to raise that are healthy are already permitted. They already have to do health tests. That's already happening. These clubs are now being threatened to have to get permits, quote unquote, from the commission and get their permission. Number one, I don't want more paperwork. So let's talk about this. Number one, they're talking about a paper system. That's number one. I can already tell you with the permits that I've dealt with, I do not want any more paperwork. I just spent years doing excessive amounts of paperwork. These clubs are not going to want to deal with this. I can tell you, this is ridiculous. Number two, where does this lead? I'm sure everybody's heard the analogy of the Trojan horse. Once something starts, where does it go from there? Is it going to snowball and grow into something else? What's going to happen? Number three, how is this going to? Some people are not going to want to deal with it. So then they're just going to say, you know what, we're not buying fish, because there's actually a lot of people that buy small quantities of fish, not like I buy. We're buying $50,000 worth of fish. But what about the club that just stocks like $1,000, in their pond, or somebody goes and gets, $500 for like their little stream behind their house? You might not think it, but that happens a lot in this Commonwealth, and that actually sustains businesses so they can keep going. This is a terrible proposition. It's a terrible policy. Until there needs to be conversations, Whip. There needs to be conversations, because if we're already doing things that aren't working right, don't you think common sense would say, well, maybe we should fix those things?
Yeah, maybe we ought to get an inquiry on, the people that are actually in the clubs, and, again, that would curtail or suspend business opportunities for the fish farms, and even with the clubs.
I think, and I've said this too. It was like, well, what prompted this? Who prompted this? I can assure you somebody prompted it.
Yep.
Somebody on the inside that's got an interest in this prompted this. And I'll give you another good thing. Okay? So imagine a system. I want everybody to think about this. When you get on your Google Maps or your map program on your phone and you're driving down a road and it says speed trap ahead. Somebody put that information in there before you, right? Like another driver that's totally disconnected from you. Why in the world are we so disconnected with government land that we can't have a mapping system through the state? And this doesn't just have to be Fish Commission related, Whip, but why can't I go on there and click on a map, and it should pop up and say, okay, it's this stream. And I'm not even talking Fish Commission. I'm talking like areas that are privately stocked. There's some clubs that do some great work. I'll give you a good example. Out on Pigeon Creek, Valiant Sportsman. This is in Washington County. Kudos to them. They do a fantastic job. So Valiant Sportsman, ever looking for a club to join, Check them out. Fantastic. But they stock this waterway for the public. If I go in a state's mapping system, even anything that they have printed today, those guys get zero. Those guys and gals get zero credit. They're not a blip on the radar. But fish warden shows up down there on that stream, everybody's got to have a fishing license. Those fish came from a fish farm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is everybody seeing what I'm saying here? You got these people putting in this effort voluntarily. They're volunteering for their community, and now we're going to punish them? I don't think so. I'm adamantly against this entire idea because of past precedents. Because you don't want to know something? In 2017, at that time, the executive director of the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission was going around saying he wanted a fishing license fee increase. And I must say, our local state representative, Representative Cook, him and I had conversations, and he fought it tooth and nail. He didn't fight it for the sake of fighting it. He asked a simple question, what are you going to do with the money? And the answer was, it's going to go into the pension fund, because the pension fund is going to dry up in so many years. And I remember specifically the executive director saying, oh, there's only approximately $32 million in the pension fund. One hearing goes by, 2 hearings go by, next thing you know, there's $60 million in the pension fund. Another hearing happens to come up, $102 million in the pension fund. Magically, this money all of a sudden appears. Lo and behold, this guy goes and retires, quote unquote, he retires, and we get a new executive director. My concern is Tim Schaefer is an amazing person. He's a tremendous executive director. I question the people that are still around internally, the bureaucracy that's left behind from the prior administration. And this whole proposition reminds me of 2017 all over again. Somebody running around making false claims, presenting false information without backing it up. Like Whip, have you heard of like all these trout like polluting the streams? I don't hear of trout polluting the streams. Do you?
Not at all. Not at all.
The only thing I ever hear when people are putting trout in, people are smiling and being happy. People are going to the local sportsman store and buying fishing gear. People are going and spending money in the economy and buying fishing licenses and buying bait.
Most important too is they're taking that time to maybe instill the beauty of it with their children.
Absolutely, they're building memory. They're making memories. So like this whole idea that we're going to create more rules and regulations when we don't even handle it properly currently, I have a huge problem with it. There's no reason or justification for these policies, and clearly I question the fact that we don't have a voice as sportsmen, as farmers, on the Fish and Boat Commission's board of directors. And I think that's another thing that's going to have to be brought up.
That hurdle needs to be,
Because a lot of these things can be nipped in the butt if you have the appropriate people in place that we're going to fight. And not even fight. It's not even about fighting. It's about, I'm having a conversation right here, and I'm not seeing any facts being presented from the other side as to why they're going to go and do this. Outside of, oh, well, this is just what we want to do.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be engaged with common sense and balance. That, again, have an open mind to where these ideas, like, again, having some common people, I'm going to say common people, not the elected officials, to be a part of that Game and Fish Commission.
Well, and here's the other thing, is that why is the Fish Commission not buying from the private sector? It's cheaper. Why? We need to have that conversation too. The fish that we buy from the private hatcheries are gorgeous.
Yes, they are.
They're very diverse looking. We have 5 different species that we stock. Predominantly the Fish Commission stocking a rainbow trout, or which is well beyond, that's normally what they stock. Once in a while they'll stock a gold trout, palomino, whatever you want to call it, and then they'll stock some browns. But in the big scheme of things, their trout, people are not like ranting and raving in a positive regard as to the quality of the trout that are stocked, although they are doing a better job under the current executive director. But the point is, why are we not buying from the private sector? If it's going to cost more for the Fish Commission to raise fish, then why why not let farmers, fish farmers that exist in Pennsylvania, provide those fish so we get to get more fish, bigger fish, better quality fish? I mean, does everybody understand what I'm saying here? I mean, this is like a no-brainer. Like, this is a no-brainer. These fish hatcheries provide amazing products.
They do.
And we're not just talking, like think of this. If you're going to go, now, what are the systemic benefits of what I'm saying? Okay, more people want to go fishing. Well, guess what? That's less likely that they're going to do bad things with their time. So like you were saying about drugs, alcohol, different things, people battling depression. I can tell you, you get outside and get hooked on the outdoors, you're not going to do those things. And that's the foundation of what you and I are about. At the essence of it is giving people an outlet, not only an outlet, but something that they can connect with their kids, with their families, build experiences. And guess what? All that stuff costs money. So people are going to go buy licenses. People are going to go and buy the appropriate gear. Somebody's going to go and buy a tent so they can go camping at our place. These are all systemically good things for the economy.
I can tell you folks personally, I sat down at the stream with a veteran and come to find out he had some anger management problems. And during the course of that time frame, we stared at a bobber, and very few words were stated. And eventually, through the course of time, after time that we had met, he started to open up. And to me, it was worth the investment because it wasn't 2 or 3 weeks later that his wife had come to the lodge and wanted to know who I was, and gave me a hug and with tears in her eyes and thanked us for bringing her husband back into normalcy. So Jason's absolutely right. I'm just echoing the benefits of what, once you're hooked on the outdoors and just even taking a walk in through the trails that we've established. And
I just had a guy, I'm glad you said that. I just had a guy last week. He had not hunted in 20 years. And I took him out with me, with my dog, and we went through the bird fields.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is so peaceful. He's like, I can't believe that I haven't done this in all this time. And I'm looking forward to seeing him again soon because he's coming back and before the season ends for us. And those types of things, those comments, are what mean the most to me because I realize that they get it. It clicks.
Yeah,
it clicks.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's not actually talking about it. That's why I made all these videos. Again, if you go on our Facebook page, you go on our YouTube channel, you go on our website, those videos are critical because, you go in a file, like, for example, let's just say we do a grant for something and we do a grant application. I'm just being hypothetical here. Something being on black and white on paper doesn't sell itself. But it's those visual aids. It's that talking about it. It's that conversation. It's that touch and feel, getting to see it when you really understand the pros and the cons of what you're trying to do. That, to me, that's the essence of what I want to achieve, is like to better educate people on what we're doing. I'm really excited, Whip, because
Well, I am too, Jason, and I got to let the folks know that it's not that we shunned or we didn't pay attention, but I've had a few of the women that were veterans that want to join and expand into the women efforts. They seem to sell themselves short on, some of the posing problems that they have, and now they're seeing the benefits of what the MOA dog tag program is offering, and now they want to extend that into, being a part of the program.
Well, if you support conservation in any capacity, whether that's planting trees, reclamation of old mine sites, picking up garbage, we do all these things. If you support veterans initiatives, if you support helping our first responders, we do all these things. Please go to our website. It's MarianaOutdoors.com. There's a donation tab. You can make a donation, and you can even give a description of what the donation's for. Again, it's MarianaOutdoors.com. Go to the donation tab. If you support anything with conservation in southwestern PA or helping our veterans or first responders, please go to there. You can make a donation. Everything that you donate, I don't care if it's $5, every little bit helps us. So I just wanted to say that.
And I'm glad you did, because I was just going to relate to that.
And the last thing I want to talk about, we have the Appalachian Pipeliners Association. Want to thank them again so much. We are having an inaugural Trout Masters fishing tournament. It's May 19th, which is a Friday. Really excited about that. Bringing people from the whole Appalachian region that work in the gas industry in regards to the pipeline. Systemic businesses with pipeline, they're coming. Gonna hopefully have a lot of Farm Bureau representation. I know we're going to be reaching out and inviting a lot of politicians from different committees so they can get to see what we're doing, the benefits therein, show people what we've done with reclamation, show people what we've done with habitat improvement, show the systemic benefits of the outdoors, the economic benefits, and you know what? Just build some friendships and relationships along the way.
That's the bottom line.
So, again, Appalachian Pipeliners Association inaugural Trout Masters fishing tournament. You can go on the Appalachian Pipeliners website. You can also follow them. I believe they have a Facebook page. The information is on our page, MarianaOutdoors.com, and also on our Facebook page. You can always reach out to us. We're happy to have you. It is open to the public. There will be actual cash payouts for the tournament. So if you're interested in that, by all means, please reach out to us. Again, MarianaOutdoors.com, Mariana Outdoorsman Association at Facebook. And it's going to be a really good opportunity and experience for people to network. So even if you're a business and you're interested in potentially sponsoring the event, again, reach out to us on Facebook, our website. Happy to have you. I think it's a good opportunity for anybody that's even just in the networking arena, looking to expand your business. Good opportunity therein. But I'm really looking forward to the future, Whip.
I am too, Jason. And I got to tell you, from just the interaction that I've had, not only for our veterans, but also, with I'm going to call them patriots, you walk away from the day after being there that has value, that not only for yourself, your self-esteem, your pride in being a part of that, but it also something that you're giving back to somebody that wants to belong and somebody that needs nourishment. And I think that we're on the right path to give that nourishment. And I'm very proud of how when I first met you and the stages of growth. It's one thing to talk about a program. It's the idea of developing it and maintaining it, which again, I'm going to go back to the team, the selection of the board members, to even the people that come out to volunteer periodically or engage with the membership. It's growing, and it to me it's solid and it's strong.
Well, the future is certainly bright for us, and I think it's very exciting as to where we're headed. And again, Whip, thank you. Anybody that's interested in the Mariana Outdoorsman Association.
You mean our time's getting
winding down, buddy? So we got to wrap her up.
Wow.
Mariana Outdoorsman Association. You can join today at MarianaOutdoors.com. You can also do day passes there. If not, stop and see us at Wild Acres Farm, 1997 Morey Road, Clarksville, Pennsylvania, 15322. We have a bait shop, fly shop available, so if you need to get anything.
And I just want to remind the folks that I'll be on later at 3:15 with the dog tag program with my co-host Rob Doya and myself. So tune in if you can.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
And this has been The Great Outdoors with the Mariana Outdoors Association on your local station. Mostly sunny this afternoon with a high of 45. Right now it's partly sunny and 27 at your local station. WMBS Uniontown, it's 11 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. Recent close calls at airports have federal officials looking for answers. The FAA is holding a safety summit right now. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Initial information suggests that more mistakes than usual are happening across the system.
CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
The NTSB investigations, they're looking for any common threads, things like communication issues or loss of situational awareness, perhaps training issues that may be factoring in. The board has made several recommendations